Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you for stopping by. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. Watch the video up to the end. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back to my videos. And to my new subscribers, welcome so much to this family where we do homemaking videos, cooking and vlogs here and there. If that is the kind of content that you love, please consider subscribing. So in today's video, I want to take you through what I eat in a day, cooking for a family of 7. So I'm starting with breakfast, and for my breakfast, I want to roast some butternut, and I'm not going to roast actually, I'm going to bake them because that is the only method that I want to use. I'm also rubbing some oil on them. I've sprinkled some salt and I've baked them and they are so ready. They look so yummy. I'm telling you, butternut is the best when it comes to anything that you want to take it with. So I'm going to take this with some strong tea. If you love coffee, you can take it with coffee. It's a very healthy option for your breakfast. They look so nice. They taste so good. This can really be a good substitute for bread. If you're tired of taking anything wheat, you can rest from the wheat and take this one. So I had this with some strong tea. Then on this other side, it was lunchtime and I wanted to make some food or some soup. So I started with my T-bone. I've added oil into the pan. After the oil was hot, I just introduced in the T-bone. I'm just going to fry it a little bit. I'm not cooking it. So I've added some salt until it's charred on each side, or maybe golden brown on each side. That is when I'm going to remove it from the pan. But before that, as it cooks, I have some peas here, dried peas that I had soaked for 12 hours. Yeah, this recipe I'm using dried peas, though my aim was to use the split ones, but I'm going for these ones that I've already soaked, and they're very soft after soaking overnight. So I'll keep turning the meat until it's golden brown on both sides. On this side, I'm cooking I want to now start cooking the actual soup that I just talked about, but I've removed the meat and put it aside. So I'm adding some onion and some garlic into my oil. The oil is already hot. I'm introducing the garlic and the onion. I'm going to mix them well until they are a bit translucent, not golden brown. And then I'm going to add in the carrots. I love carrots so much. They are so good. They are dishes that really go well with carrots. So I'll put in some carrots. Then I'm going to put in the peas, the dried peas. After they have soaked, they really become very soft. And remember one thing that I did with these peas, I soaked them with some sea salt, and they absorbed a lot of salt into them, and so that will balance the flavor. So I'm adding some turmeric curry powder. I'm also adding some black pepper. I'm adding also some salt. I'm going to give them a good mix until they are well combined. Yes, and then I'm going to add in the meat that I had fried. The purpose of me frying that meat is just to give it a very good taste while making this soup. And then I'm going to introduce in the whole onion that I haven't cut, and then I've added in some thyme. That is just a little broth from the meat, and then I'm going to add in some water. But if you have some bone broth, please just do use that. Then I'm adding in some butter. I'm going to make some chapatis to accompany the soup. I've covered the soup and I'm going to let the soup cook for 3 hours on low heat until everything softens, until the peas are softened. So here I'm making some chapatis to go with the soup, but you can also use some rice to accompany. And the soup is ready. It's been cooking for a long time. As you can see, it's very thick. The peas have really broken down and they have released a very nice sauce. So I'm going to remove the meat, and then I'm going to try and just cut it into smaller pieces. Then I'm going to return into the meat inside the piece and let it cook for some time, and then we are going to serve it. I'm telling you, this is very flavorful. I've even scooped the bone marrow from the that bone over there. So I'm adding everything into the piece. I'm going to mix them well until let them simmer for like 2 minutes. I'm going to garnish with some coriander and some green pepper. I'm not going to cover it to cook because I love some crunch from the green pepper, and when the pepper is green it gives good aromas. So I'm going to serve. I've sprinkled some green onions and also some black pepper, just a little bit to kick the spice. It looks so delicious. I'm telling you, you can serve this with rice, you can serve this with chapati. It's very, very delicious. Let me know if you can ever try this kind of recipe. Although it takes long, it slow cooks long, but it's worth it. So last night I did make some yogurt so that we can have it as a snack on this day that we were having the meals. So this is some milk that I've boiled. I used the ATM milk, so this is just like 2 liters. I've added some yogurt in it, the yogurt that I had bought. It's vanilla yogurt. I've added some sugar. The milk is actually lukewarm, so I've added some sugar, and also I'm going to give it a good mix. I'm going to add in some strawberry essence. I just wanted to make the strawberry one because I did not have the vanilla essence with me. So I covered it and let it sit in the dark for over 12 hours. And then this is the next day, the day that I was cooking all the meals. That is when I uncovered it. And I'm telling you, it was so thick, it was so sweet, it was so nice. This is a very good feeling when you're making yogurt at home. It saves you a lot of coins, and the quantity is so good. You don't have to buy a lot of yogurt and spend a lot of money. So I just made this yogurt and it was so sweet, and the kids just had it as a snack, and I really loved it. It was so delicious. I don't like taking yogurts, but I just tasted it. It was so good. I had to taste it because if I'm serving it to my kids, I just have to be sure that it is very good. It was so nice and very delicious. Yeah. So I just kept some in the fridge. I want to make some biryani, and to make biryani, I have my meat over here. I want to use this meat. It's a shin T-bone, premium cut, or fresh prime cut. So I'm using that to make my biryani. I also have jasmine rice. I'm going to use jasmine rice. I'm not going to use the other rice. I'm going to use jasmine rice. So I got the Royal Umbrella, the jasmine rice, this one over here. So it's the one I want to use. So I have some curry powder, I have some pink Himalayan salt rubbed. I also have some turmeric. I have some mixed herbs. I just want to make it as healthy as possible. I also have some garlic cloves, and then I have some ginger over here, some coriander, some lemon, lots and lots of onion. I'm going to use lots of onion. Instead of using food color, I'll prefer going natural, so I'll use the saffron. Here is the saffron. This is how it looks like. Let me just open the inside real quick. Available that much. People opt for food color, but as for me, I would go for saffron. Yeah, this is how saffron looks like. Saffron is a flower that is dried, so that is how it looks like. I'll open the inside real quick. Yeah, this is how it looks like. So this is the dried version, the dried one, the saffron. Normally they come dried. It's Arabic stores that sell spices, or you can go to Chandarana, but you can never find it on the shelves. Normally they sell it separately. Yeah, so I'm going to use the saffron. What I'm going to do, I'm going to soak the rice, and I'm just going to use as much rice as I want. I don't know, I'm never good at measuring rice or a ratio of water to rice. I don't know. I just eyeball them and still they come out nice. Yeah, but if you know how to measure, you can go for measurements. So I'll just soak this rice for 10 minutes. I'm going to soak it for 10 minutes. I'm going to wash the meat as well. So let onions into smaller pieces. Remember that I need a lot of onions, so I'll just cut them into smaller pieces. In this one, I'm using the red onions, so I'll just chop them by smaller pieces. I'll just put my pan on the gas. I'll add some oil into my pan. I'll add the onions into the oil and let them fry. So I'll just cook them until, or rather fry them until they are golden brown. All of them, that is when I can remove them from the oil. I will add a little bit of some salt. So I'll remove them from the oil. I don't want them to be extra dark, because when they get extra dark, they definitely are going to be bitter. And then I'm going to put them on top of a plate that I've aligned some paper towel so that they can drain the oil. Use a pressure cooker. I'll add the same oil into this pressure cooker. Just a little bit. I'm not going to add much, just for the meat. Then in goes the onions, the chopped onions. I'm also using the coriander roots. I love coriander roots. They have a very nice aroma. This is ginger garlic paste. So I'm also going to fry them with the onions. As the onions cook, I'm going to soak a little bit of the saffron. I'm going to soak it in water for some time as we wait for the meat to cook and everything to cook. As you can see, it turns to yellow. Yeah, so let it soak for some time. So I'm going to add in the meat in the onions, the mixture of onions. You can as well opt for slow cooking, but the pressure cooker also does work. So I'll just mix them until they are well combined with the onions and every flavor inside there. I'm going to add the spices. So I'm going to start with the sage, and then this is curry powder, this is turmeric, and also this is mixed herbs. Then I'm going to mix everything well. Mixing. I'm using hot water, so I'll add some water inside here. Give it a good mix. Over cooking, so I'll just I will cover it. Transferred it into my big pot because it's a lot. It's already cooked, so I'll add a little bit of some tomato puree, some tomato powder. Then I'll give it a good mix. I'll let it simmer down for like 10 minutes until the stew or the broth reduces. Some water that I want to use in cooking the rice. So I'm adding in some salt, some whole cinnamon, 2 cardamom pods, 3 cloves. I'm also adding a little bit of butter. You can use oil if you don't have butter. As I wait for the water to boil for the rice, the sauce is very thick and I love it that way. So I'm going to introduce in some Greek yogurt. I find it a little bit tangy and it makes that sauce very thick and very tasty. But if you have some natural yogurt, you can use the natural yogurt. It's okay. But also the Greek yogurt also works better because it's a bit thick and really goes well with that kind of dish. So I've added in that. I've also added some little bit of lemon juice. Lemon juice also adds in some tanginess as well. It's amazing. It's very flavorful. So on this other side, I have some water boiling for the rice. So I'm going to add in the rice because the water is already boiled. I'm telling you the aromas inside there from the everything that I had thrown inside is just amazing. So I'm going to let it simmer for 5 minutes. And on this side, I've added the onions that I had fried, just a little bit of them, and some coriander for some flavors and more aromas in there. So I'm going to mix it nicely before I can scoop out the meat that I'm going to use later still on the biryani. I'm just leaving a little bit of the meat on the bottom and some sauce there so that I can add in the rice because the rice is ready. I did not rinse this rice. I just brought it straight from the hot water and just put it inside here. There is no need of rinsing your rice because I feel like when you rinse your rice, you're getting rid of the taste of the rice, and the rice is going to be very flat. So I'm adding in back the meat that I had scooped on top of the rice, and then I'm going to add still another some other batch of rice inside here. Try to spread it evenly, even though the meat was so thick. So I've added in some saffron. So that is how you use the saffron on your biryani. But you can still use food color, as I said, if you cannot access saffron. I've also added the leaves of the saffron. They really smell amazing. They are very colorful. So I've also thrown in on top some the onions that I had fried. These onions are very sweet. They are aromatic. They really gave very nice flavors to the biryani. So after that, I'm dropping in a little bit of butter, just a little bit. Yes, I'm going to cover with the foil for 5 to 10 minutes. Let it just simmer on low heat and then it is done. I'm telling you, when I was opening this foil, whatever that hit me from this rice was so good. It was aromatic. The aromas were really nice. So it's the biryani is nicely done and I love it. I love it. I had to look for a spoon that can actually scoop the rice nicely, even though the meat was too chunky, but I preferred it that way. As you can see, the mix of the saffron and also the white rice over there is just amazing. I've thrown in the coriander for some color and also some garnish, and it looks delicious, very delicious. I'm telling you, can you see that? This was the best rice ever. Let me know in the comment section if you love biryani, how you would love to make it. Do you love making it with meat, a beef or goat or mutton or chicken? I love it with beef. It's so tasty, and the aromas. I'm telling you, jasmine rice really tastes so good and it's very aromatic. So I served it with some salad that I had made on the side with cucumber and onions and also a little bit of the Greek yogurt that had remained. See that bone? It's really tasty and very juicy. This biryani was delicious. Let me know if you love this recipe, if you would love to try it with the fresh saffron or maybe some food color. I would love to know your opinion in the comment section. Thank you for sticking around. To my returning subscribers, to my new subscribers, everyone on this video. Thank you for being here. Please don't skip the ads. Watch the video up to the end. I'll really appreciate it, and may you all be blessed. Until my next one, bye guys.